Hello, and welcome back to Legacy of Leaders, where we interview the brightest and most interesting leaders in the community, and today is no different. I'm your host, Whitney Mincey, joined by very special guest, Mr. Ken Griffin from the Northeast Florida Safety Council. Welcome.
Hey, Whitney, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to have you here because you're really having a positive impact on the community in many different ways. So I know there's a lot that goes into the Safety Council. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, the Safety Council is made up of 3 different departments. And ideally, the Safety Council has been around for about 80 years.
Wow.
And it started with traffic issues as the traffic community was growing. And so there's a driver improvement program that helps folks navigate tickets, court issues, things like that, so they can come to us, or they could actually even go on our website and they can find courses they may want to take, pre-driver exam, speeding tickets, things like that. But then we also are contracted with the state to deal with DUIs. And so what we do is we help come alongside families and individuals that may have gotten a DUI and help them navigate that process, because that could be very painful, very challenging, very stressful. So we want to be there with them to help them navigate that, to help them get their court issues done, but also their administrative license issues with the DMV.
Right.
And we help them navigate that process as well. And then we just started a program called Upstream. And Upstream is designed to go upstream to help folks with any mental health issues, equipping, empowering, encouraging, and engaging communities like schools, churches, families, businesses that are coping or trying to cope with maybe the stressors of life, the pain of life, and giving them skills to navigate that part of their life so that they're not looking for unhealthy choices, which we're surrounded by. Because a lot of times it's the introduction of an unhealthy choice that then leads them to more unhealthy choices, relationships that then they could end up in a bad spot. And so we're almost trying to prevent DUIs and prevent the addictions and prevent the mental health blowouts in people's lives. And so there's probably not a person alive that hasn't been touched by it in some way, shape, or form. And so I'm trying to engage them in where they are to give them the proper skill set to handle it.
And what's your background? How did you get into this?
Well, I was at the University of Florida in veterinary school, and then I got called out of veterinary school and I went into the ministry for 17 years. And so I was a pastor for 17 years, helping folks navigate life just in a different element sometimes. And it was about 12 years ago that I left that field, and one of my degrees is in education and another one is in counseling. And so I took the combination of those two, having had a family member struggle with addiction in their life, and I then seeing it for 17 years, I wanted to grow my skill set and engage the community and the areas that I was living in a different capacity. And so I wanted to be able to get into the schools. I wanted to be able to get into people's homes, businesses, and engage in a different context than somebody just coming on a Sunday. I wanted to be more engaged in the trenches with them and then help them untangle some of the things that they were in.
And I know with Upstream, as you mentioned, it's all about prevention and the things that you can do to impact before the tragedy strikes, right?
Right.
One of the hot button issues right now with parents is social media. Right. So we don't have a ton of time. I know you probably can't dive deep into that topic, but high level, can you give us a little bit of insight on that? Yeah,
I think social media is one of the largest areas, traps, if you will. I don't say it's bad, but I don't say it's good. I think it's neutral. Yeah. And it could be used in a very destructive ways, anywhere from human trafficking to bullying to mismanagement of stress to no communication to high levels of depression that did not exist before social media. And so I like to be able to equip parents, families, churches, businesses with what's good healthy ways to use social media. What do you need to be on the lookout for though? And then to almost shine the light in some of the darkness, because social media can be very dark. Yes. So the more we can shine light into darkness, I think it helps free up people. It helps give them skill sets to look out for. And then we're training families on how to really communicate and talk and be more open in their relationships. And so social media can be good, but I also believe it's creating operate in a very lonely, stressful society.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, but thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. If you would like to hear more about Ken and the Safety Council, make sure you head over to dailynewsnetwork.com. All of his information will be there. You can find out how to connect with him, how to bring him into your organization, and really impact change in the community. We'll see you next time on Legacy of Leaders.